Championships on the line for the World Supercross GP Championship and the AMA Championship. Before we decide those, here's Aaron Bates with the Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Ryan Villapoto, the local star here in Washington, has had an illustrious career all the way through his amateurs to the pro ranks. And even though he's contracted to race the lights division one more year to the end of 2008, you can expect that he will be the next Supercross superstar.
Awaiting the arrival of Ryan Villapoto to the big Supercross class. He's certainly going to be somebody to keep an eye on. Here's our Honda main event starting grid. No Villapoto, but a lot of superstars. And of course, the main story here is, can James Stewart wrap up these two titles here in Seattle?
Well, there's a lot of lights champions in here. Davey Millsaps, Grant Langston, Tim Ferry,
and James Stewart.
That is the stepping stone.
There's our onboard camera on top of Michael Burns' number 26 Rockstar Energy Drink Suzuki. He's right alongside the doghouse, right in the center of the starting grid, looking down that long start.
I think it's a pretty good line, but what we've seen tonight is that a lot of the starts, the guy on the inside doesn't necessarily get the hole shot when it comes to the second turn. Somebody on the right has been kind of coming around the outside. Again, the number 40.
And getting the whole shot is Ivan Tedesco, who's down. Tedesco on the number 9 Makita factory Suzuki had the whole shot. Now he's last and has problems with his handlebars. But out front for at least now is Jeff Gibson on the 40. But here comes James Stewart.
Stewart should make short work of Gibson right there, just flies by in the whoops.
And does just that.
Doing exactly what he's got to do here at the beginning of the main event. Go for this championship, wrap up these championships here tonight.
So much has been said about James Stewart over the years, beginning with such promise when he was running back in the Lights Championships. Everybody figured he would be a superstar, but Jeff, there were some times where things were a little bit bumpy for James Stewart on the climb up to this level.
Well, there definitely was. He's made some mistakes, but along the way, he has always been fast and always won races. The points championship has eluded him. Tonight could be the night he wraps all that up and creates his own destiny.
Coming after him hard is Davey Millsaps on the number 118 Honda. We talked with Davey earlier today, and he said starts was a big problem for him, and well, he's out there a pretty good one. And Chad Reed, we caught a glimpse of him, the man second in the championship. Tail into the field, he's running in 20th. Let's go back and take a look at a Progressive Direct whole shot replay.
Well, like I was saying, I was thinking that the outside was going to sweep around. Everybody's bottled up on the inside. And look at Gibson, sneaks by there. Next turn, just grabs the whole shot.
To see this and other hole shots from throughout the season, visit holeshotheaven.com.
And watch Tedesco right here, cross ruts, and actually takes Chad Reed with him. That's why we're seeing the number 22 is way back right now.
He's got a long way to go, and he had a very good heat race and showed a lot of promise for this evening.
It's definitely not how Chad Reed wanted to start this main event here tonight when he was holding on to a slim chance for the championship.
Brian Johnson sees Reed go by. Reed had to win to keep any hopes of taking the championship all the way to Las Vegas.
And what that's going to do is he's going to charge through the pack here like he always does. But inside, I'm sure that at this moment he already feels a little bit deflated. Knows that Stewart's out front, and this championship is slipping away.
Davey Millsaps was running in second. He has slipped back to fourth. Tim Ferry, James Stewart's teammate, is now running in second. Michael Byrne on the Rockstar Suzuki is up to third. Wyndham is running in fourth. Here's your onboard camera with Michael Byrne.
And actually see the 14 of Wyndham just got by Michael Byrne. Took over the 3rd position.
And Wyndham won his heat race earlier tonight. Told me at the beginning of the day that he really feels good, and this should be a good round for him, and he's proving that.
Well, this is where a lot of the tight racing and bar-to-bar action has been this season, is in this group of riders here. Millsaps was out of that for much of the season early on, but has definitely came back to this series, put in some great rides.
Byrne much slower through this section, Jeff, and look at Wyndham pulling away.
Now, Wyndham definitely had the line at the beginning of that rhythm section.
And there goes Millsap, right by it. Boy, that really cost Michael Byrne.
Yeah, he just didn't carry enough speed there at the end. And Millsap's one of them riders, got that hot line down there, 13 jumps in a row, and somewhere at the end he found some serious speed.
Millsap's left knee is still not right, and he broke his left femur, and the combination of the two, he says, he doesn't know if he'll ever get 100% again.
And he said that he doesn't even have an ACL at the moment. So it's kind of beyond me to see how these guys ride with these type of injuries, but Supercross riders are some of the toughest athletes in the world, and what they go through and the dedication that they have rivals any other athlete out there.
Oh, and Byrne has had another problem. He's lost a few more positions.
I think he stalled the engine. He made a mistake there in between corners 2 and 3. Stalled the engine, dropped back a few positions.
And now we go back towards Chad Reed, who has moved himself up to 14th, chasing Paul Carpenter. Just under 30 seconds behind Stewart in the fight for the championships.
As he's picking his way through that whoop section, huge ruts through there. Like I said, right now, if I'm Chad Reed, I'm
devastated.
I'm devastated because the chances of staying in this championship are all but gone at this point.
And Tim Ferry on the 15 has just stalled his bike and was running in 2nd place. Continues to march up, but he still can't get around Carpenter, and if he's trying to catch up to the leader, well, you got to get rid of these guys in front of you a lot quicker than this.
Yeah, Carpenter typically is a rider that Reed would have handled, in a couple of turns, but right now Reed does not seem to be making the moves that he needs to.
And look at the battle for 2nd. Kevin Wyndham on the 14, Davey Millsaps on the 118. Both of these riders having one of the best rides of their season here in Seattle.
And it's interesting, both of these guys are a couple of the taller riders on the, in the series. Oh, and Millsaps goes by.
Davey Millsaps on the 118, moving himself up, puts himself in 2nd place. So this will be a huge boost to the young rider if he can hang on for a 2nd place finish.
Taking a look back at Michael Byrne now, getting back on the gas after stalling it. Was running up as high as 3rd until these guys here came by.
Millsap's best finish of the year was a 4th at the RCA Dome in Indiana. But James Stewart looking to wrap up 2 championships here in Seattle when we come back. Seven laps to go for number 7, James Stewart. 2 championship crowns awaiting him on top of the victory podium at Qwest Field.
Well, and Stewart has this circle of support and his friends and everybody that is friends and family that are here cheering him on. A new member of his family, Malcolm, is not here tonight. I'm sure he's listening in, wishing the best for him.
And as you talk about James Stewart, Jeff, you mentioned earlier how he's had so many ups and downs throughout his career, so much promise, and then so much question along the way from fans and within the industry. In a lot of ways was very unfair. He had a lot of things that he had to work through. some physical ailments that he had no idea, nor did the doctors for a while, as to what was bothering him. He got through all of that, and here he is about to take a huge step in Seattle towards cementing his position in Supercross history books and living up to all the initial hype early on in his career that he really is the fastest man in Supercross, and without question, the best rider currently.
Well, it has been an interesting journey for James Stewart as we take a look at Wyndham here. Having a great ride tonight.
Sitting in third, rider out of Mississippi. He told me earlier he's done a lot to change his training and his diet, and it's paying off. Feels the best he's felt in years, and it shows. Winning his heat race here and having a podium quality run already in Seattle.
Well, and having a championship quality run, the number 7 on the Monster Energy Kawasaki, James Stewart, got 5 to go until he wraps up the AMA Supercross Championship and the World Supercross Grand Prix Championship, something that no rider has ever done in the same season.
Tim Ferry was running in second, had problems, has bounced back. Stewart's teammate on the Monster Energy Factory Kawasaki team. Tim has worked his way back up to 4th.
Well, and Kawasaki has to be so happy with both these riders. We talked with Ferry earlier today. He said in the series, he said, if I get a top 5, I'll be happy with that. He said he's exceeded that. He's pretty close to locking up 3rd in the championship. He's definitely had one of the best years of his whole career.
And as you can see by the points as they currently run, this championship will be over in 4 more laps.
When you talk about the championship for Stewart, I mean, this is just the beginning of a new legacy of the James Stewart championship era, that I truly believe that this is going to be the first of many, and that Stewart is going to be the guy that's going to go out there and challenge Ricky Carmichael and Jeremy McGrath for the race wins and championship wins records that they've set.
There's Andrew Short on the Honda, running in 5th on the number 29. James Stewart was told by the folks at Kawasaki coming into the season he absolutely had to win the championship. The AMA title was the most important to them this year, since he'd already won the World Supercross title earlier this year. And he's about to get that done.
Looking at Short here, coming off of that bad injury last year, each and every race he's kept building his confidence, getting a little bit better each and every week. Right now he's running in the 5th. It's going to be a nice top 5 for him. Got to be happy with that. Ending up this season on a positive note when he started the season sitting up in the stands watching.
Chad Reed hoping to keep the championship fight alive till next week's final at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, and it's not going to happen. He's running in 6th right now. A valiant ride, is considering he was all the way back in dead last, 20th position, shortly after the first couple of corners. But he has picked up 14 positions, but he's going to come up short. But he is, without a doubt, one of the grittiest riders in all of Supercross, and he proved it once again here tonight. James Stewart, 2 laps to go to Supercross history.
Well, and right now we're seeing a culmination of what everybody already knows, is that James Stewart is the champ, that he is the fastest Supercross rider on the planet, and he has had such an incredible season. Started off the World Championship with a lot of controversy up there in Toronto. Came back for the 2nd round with an injured foot. Remember, he wasn't even sure that he was going to race.
That was in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, went to the airport on crutches. His dad, Big James Stewart, said, "We're not going to the races if you're taking those crutches." So he had to leave those at home at the airport. Came through with a 2nd that night. Since then, he's only gotten better. He has really proved to everyone in the Supercross world that he is the fastest man in the world.
11 main event wins coming into this round, tying Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael as the only riders to win 11 races in a season. This will be victory number 12 for James.
You really see him taking it easy right now. He has been extremely cautious. White flag lap here. Just a few turns to go.
James Stewart celebrating in front of the Qwest field crowd. It has been such a long, tough season for James Stewart. He has won the Amped Mobile World Supercross GP Championship and the Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Series Championship as his father, Big James, celebrates on the sidelines. James Stewart's dream from when he was a little boy is complete. He is the champion, and nobody can take that away from him, Aaron Bates.
Tell you what, his family has been with him 100% throughout his entire career, but Big James, you guys worked so hard for this year. What kind of emotion is going on through your head right now?
You know, I'm so happy. You know, this is one of the dreams that really have came true. It's been a long time and a lot of hard work, and, you know, we still got a long way to go, but I'm so super pumped right now. Thank you.
It's going to be a big celebration here in Seattle as James Stewart, the emotions come out. He's champ. Welcome back to Seattle. This has been all about dreams here in Qwest Field. We talked about at the beginning of the show the dreams of a young man starting out as a little boy. James Stewart dreamed of being named Supercross Series champion. And as you take a look at our Suzuki results, he has done it. He wins here in Seattle and gains enough points to win both of the Supercross championships, something that Kawasaki put the pressure on him at the beginning of the year to do, and he has completed that goal, that mission. He is Supercross Series champion. And when you win those titles, you get #1 plates. Let's head down to the victory podium and the presentation of the highly coveted #1 plates.
On behalf of the FIM, I'd like to present you with this #1 plate. Congratulations. James, you're a true competitor, and you're one heck of a inspiration to our sport. Thank you very much for being part of our show. Congratulations.
Thank you. James, here's the one you really race for. The AMA #1 plate. It's a hard struggle, and time coming, but there you go. #1. I think you ought to feel really good. Thank you. Thank you.
There's one more round of Amped Mobile Supercross racing yet to go. Next weekend, Sam Boyd Stadium, Las Vegas. James Stewart's going to show up in Nevada as the champion. As you see in the Toyota Truck point standings, he clinches the World GP Point Championship for the 2nd year in a row. And for the first time in his career, he is a newly crowned AMA champion as well. Here's Aaron Bates with the champ, James Stewart.
James Stewart, freshly crowned champion, both not only the World Championship, but the AMA Championship as well. James, you were calm, cool, and collected all day long, but very emotional at this point. Where does this AMA Championship rank to you, considering you've already got a World one under your belt?
Well, you know, it's been a long season, and to be able to have this, accomplish these things has been a dream of my life. And man, I was trying to stay real calm, but I was nervous all day long, you know, just thinking of all the bad things that can happen. And man, I'm just stoked. I got to give it up to my team, my mom and dad, all the fans here in Seattle. Thank you. And everybody, the FIM, the AMA. It's just, man, it's a dream come true.
Congratulations on a victorious day.
Thank you.
Here's the remaining schedule of Amped Mobile Supercross television broadcasts. You can see the live coverage of next weekend's season finale. Check your local listings for that one. And of course, next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, right here on CBS, we'll have our year in review show. Let's go back down to the victory podium with Aaron Bates.
Davey Millsaps and Kevin Windham rounding off the 2nd and 3rd place podium finishes up here. Davey, congratulations to you. A tough battle for you tonight. You've been kind of dealing with a bunch of injuries, especially you tweaked your knee during practice. Did that help you whatsoever out there tonight?
You know, it just gave me more motivation, but, you know, I felt really good tonight, and I felt like I could put it together, and, you know, I'm just I'm thankful Honda's behind me, you know, through the ups and downs, and everyone else, my mom and Carlos and everyone, so thank you.
And a newly motivated Kevin Windham showing up to Seattle. Kevin, tonight's track, a tough one. Would you say it dictated who has been conditioning and who hasn't?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. You saw a lot of guys going down, but the Sobe, No Fear Samsung Honda just pulled through for me. It's been doing that all year, and I'm glad to have it up here on the podium. Seattle's been good to me, and So it definitely lived up to the expectations. Good to be on the podium.
A dramatic Seattle wrapping up as we head into the final Las Vegas next weekend.
Let's take a look at our Toyota moving forward replay.
Watch Stewart just cuts to the inside of Gibson, hammers the throttle.
That was our pass for the lead in our Toyota moving forward replay.